Well, there's a new show on A&E called Hustle and Tow. It focuses on tow truck drivers, the dangerous rescues, wildlife, and unexpected conditions that put their lives at risk every day. And one of the stars is the owner of W&W Tow of Cook County, Chicago native Early Walker. Welcome, Early.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, Early, good to have you. You know, you're known across Chicago as a philanthropist, always doing good in the community. Now you're starring in this show, which, by the way, great name, Hustle and Tow, a play on Hustle and Flow, I'm sure. How did you get a part of the show?
Absolutely. So it's crazy. Actually, I thought it was a joke. The producers from A&E reached out to me in my email, and they were like, hey, you know, we see some of the things you're doing in the community. We think you'd be a perfect fit for a new show we have coming out. So I literally actually thought it was spam. So I didn't even respond. And literally a couple of days later, they reached back out and said, are you interested? We think this would be a great opportunity for you and your company. I said, okay, let me call. Let me see what's going on. And literally a week later, I had all these cameras in my office. So it was kind of crazy how it all happened.
Wow.
Within a week?
Well, Early, I have to be honest with you. When I first heard about the show, I was like, oh, tow truck drivers. I remember going down to Lower Wacker. I was hoping that my car got stolen and not towed because it costs so much to get it out. Tow truck drivers sort of have this bad reputation of like ruining somebody's day, but this show might change that perception.
Well, yeah, so that's the hopes of the show. So a lot of times people don't really see the behind the scenes that goes into being a tow operator. Us putting our lives on the line, the safety hazards that we deal with on a regular basis. Oftentimes people forget that part. You know, we're pretty much the bad guys until we're needed, you know, and so we have several instances throughout the show where we talk about the move over law. We talk about some of my drivers that are in the show, talk about instances where they had near life death experiences. You know, so, you know, yeah, that's the gist of the show, is to show the other side that is not normally portrayed on a regular basis.
So I read that you started W&W Towing like just with one used tow truck, right? And then you grew it into like this major business. Talk about the business side of this and how you've grown here in Chicago.
Yeah, so as you stated, one raggedy truck, I call it my Fred Sanford and Son truck. I used to literally, in some instances, would be so ashamed. And I have to give a shout out to Damon Williams because he was actually one of my first customers. And it's funny because he called, and when I pulled up, you could tell it looked like, what the heck? He asked me, he said, man, are we going to make it? I said, I don't know. You know, and so, but, you know, it's the customers like that allowed me to become, you know, the company that we are today.
All right. So we're taking a look at the very first truck. How long did you have that, and how did you grow it to what it is today?
So that I bought in 2013, and literally, I actually walked off of my job. I used to work with the Board of Education. And so I walked off literally with a wing and a prayer. And it's interesting because I didn't do enough research, I should say. I, in my mind, did not know how much tow trucks cost at the time. So I'm just thinking, okay, I've got about $10,000 saved up, pension-wise. I'll leave, I'll buy a truck, and hey, I'll just start this business, you know? And it's interesting because I started pricing trucks, and some of the trucks starting at like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. I mean, you couldn't get a brand new truck for $60,000 or less. And so I was like, uh-oh, I messed up. So here it is now. I've already quit. I've already left. I've already put my pension down. So I literally looked up, in my words, and found this truck. And this truck was $7,500. And I was like, this is all of my money. So I had to make it work. And so I literally just went door to door. I am huge on marketing and branding. And so I just put myself out there to the world as this huge, massive company when I really only had this raggedy truck. And same phone number to this day, which I'm grateful for. But it was about the marketing and branding, and definitely God, because I in some instances, I look back today and you could not have told me in a million years that I would be where I am today.
Wow. So what would you say to people is the most surprising thing about the tow truck world?
I would say you never know what you're walking into. Oftentimes we get calls, and a lot of times customers, they really don't know all of the information that we need. And so a lot of times when we get these calls, we really don't know what we're walking into. A lot of times, you know, we get a lot of calls, of course, on the side of the roadways, which you'll see some of that in the show. We get calls of vehicles that are stuck in particular positions, and the customers, they don't know. They just want to be unstuck, you know, and so we get a lot of that. You'll see some winter conditions that we dealt with this past snowstorm. And so there's a lot that goes into being a tow operator that a lot of people don't realize. I mean, we put ourselves on the line every day, and that's what this show will show.
Yeah, incredibly dangerous conditions that you deal with. But let's talk about the philanthropy for a minute, because I know you love Chicago and you've given back so much. Part of the reason why they chose you, why is that so important to you?
You called the secret angel.
Yeah, so it's definitely a part of the show, and I'm actually grateful. They're actually dedicating one full episode out of the 20 episodes to my philanthropy in Chicago, which I am ecstatic about. I do love Chicago. I love helping people. I'm not one of those people that's running around asking for money. We spend our own dollars. So the money that WW Toy makes, I take a percentage of that every year and I give it back to my community. So it's not like we're this rich company or whatever the case is, but I just feel like every business owner should give back to the community that allows them to be in business. And that's my motto, and that's what I stand by. And so I do love the fact that they are allowing the world to see that, you know, all tow truck drivers aren't bad guys. You know, I started off with that truck, and literally I used my business as a ministry, you know, and I was able to bless several families. I mean, I won't forget ever the first winter storm that we had in 2013, which is when I started my business. I'll never forget, I was on my way, and this is when I was just starting, and the young lady was stranded, stuck on the side of the road, and I pulled over, and I get out, and she was stuck in a vehicle on the side of the road with her kids. And I said, "Hey, are you okay?" And she kind of shoved me along, and she said, "I'm okay, sir." And she was crying. I said, "Well, no, ma'am, you're going to get told by the police if you don't allow me to help you." You know, she said, "Well, I don't have any money, so just go. I'll just have to deal with it." And I said, "Well, no," I said, "I'll tell you what." I said, "I'll tell you for free." And I literally, you know, threw her and her kids in my truck, and I told her she didn't stay too far away. And so she literally broke down crying. And that touched me, you know, because she said, "This is the worst Christmas of my life." She said, "I don't have any toys for my kids. I don't have a Christmas tree." And so when I got there, it's like I literally was in tears. I was like, wow. And that touched me so much that I left there, and I went and got her a Christmas tree, and I got our kids some gifts. And literally from then on, I said, you know what? This was the purpose of this towing company. And I stuck by that. I mean, every year I do a Christmas drive. We do turkey giveaways. We do things throughout the year. And every year I try to come up with just more and more ideas on how I can help people.
Oh, well, that's super dope. Early, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the show, and congratulations on your engagement to our media colleague, Tia Ewing. All the best to you guys.
Thank you so much.
Also,
thank you so much. Appreciate you guys.
Hustle and Tow premieres tonight on A&E at 9 p.m., so make sure you don't miss it.